work our club hard so that we will flourish, and then as a payment, repay to your generosity. Gina, I'm puzzled. I'm listening to your speech and said, what prompted Gina to be so passionate about promoting the tourism to this San Marino? What struck you? Did you fall in love with some guy over there? Or what is it that grabbed your heart? And tell us how successful you are in promoting this. Has anybody who listened to you did travel to San Marino and come back and share with you?
I think for me, it was a little bit of the enchantment of a small place and the beauty of standing on top of mountains and looking out everything. It is absolutely gorgeous. And I think that's probably the biggest thing for me. Inside the walls are small shops. I didn't have time to, but it is a very peaceful kind of place that I found was a little bit of a child of nature, so to speak. And so being able to look out at the rolling hills below and the red roofs of those houses or buildings that are there. And also I think the fact that I think I didn't share this, it's the third smallest group in the country. So it is very small. It has survived all these years. And it is a true democracy. So, and I think that's part of what drew me to it. No, I did not meet anybody over there. I have shared it with people that I knew were going to Italy. I recently have a former colleague who got married, and then they wanted to take a trip then, but it was December, and they went last May. And she has traveled a lot, he has not. And he calls me up on the phone, and he goes, I need some help. I said, what's wrong? And he goes, Teresa's making me plan this trip. And so I tried to do some things. She had been a couple of times that were different. And they did go to San Marino and absolutely did enjoy it very much. So I just try to share it because I thought I want people to be able to experience it. Mike had a question.
Yeah, how far from Vesuvius is it?
Vesuvius? All right, now he's going to trick me on that.
Because that's going to erupt like next year or something.
I don't know. I'd have to look. It's easy to get to
Okay.
from this.
Where is this place in
It's sort of northern central Italy. If you look at the boot, and I'm terrible at drawing the boot, so y'all forgive me if I make it look kind of whatever. Is that right?
Yeah, it looks like
Okay, Venice is up in here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of right over in here. There's a little beach called Rimini right in here. It's actually Rimini's above. So it's kind of right in here. Okay, so it's in the northern central part of Italy. And but people just don't know about it. And I think it's a great day visit or one visit we did, we spent the night. So we actually got a day and a half. And I could probably stay for about 3 days. So, anyway.
Thank you. I'll put that name on my list, the dream list. And Stan, I look at you and I thought you were a man of good secrets. I wonder whether you can share some of your secrets that you wouldn't think we would imagine you have.
Thank you, Madam Tabletopics. I'll deflect it to keeping with the theme of a funny thing happened to my father whenever he moved to the town where he was a high school principal. So his last name was Cox, C-O-X, which is obviously not at all French. And so the Cajuns in the town, it's mostly a French town. I was raised in a very small town. Most everyone was of French descent. So he would go to a store and people would be speaking French, thinking that he didn't have the slightest idea what they were saying. You know, they'd say, "Have you met the high school principal?" or you know, "Have you met his wife?" And my father knew what they were saying, but eventually they learned what he was saying. But for a while he didn't let on. And so and he always said, when I was growing up, he always said, you know, don't try to correct people because then they will never let on what they want you to know. So I always thought that. So I think that's the most seasonal thing I can think of. I think the funny thing about the poem is, and I think this is true whenever you like go from one language to another. Like in French, there's no, instead of to do, they use to make. That's the helper verb. So that's why they'll say make, crawl, or make, bake. And so that's like an English mistake that occasions to make, because they take French grammar and stick English words in it. It's like when I'm trying to learn Chinese, and so I'll say something to my coworker, just say, "Well, that's the totally wrong word order." So the right words with the wrong word order. Madam Tabletop.
So, the secret is, he has no secret. Let's move on to our evaluation portion.